welcome to Newswatch on Hope TV. Glad you could make time for us. My name is Melissa Oduor. Boniface Muredi is on the sign language tonight as we bring you the latest happenings. Newswatch begins now. Opposition leader Raila Odinga has accepted the chairmanship role of the African Union Commission to replace Musa Mahamat, who exits the role in March next year. Former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo, who is the High Representative for the Horn of Africa at the African Union, has endorsed Raila for the job, saying he believes it is East Africa's turn to hold the position. Addressing the press, Raila expressed his readiness to embrace the pivotal leadership role, saying the decision follows extensive consultations with key stakeholders and trusted allies. Kate and Diego has more.
At a press briefing attended by the High Representative of the African Union in the Horn of Africa and former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo, Azimio leader Raila Odinga has declared his intention to vie for the prestigious position of the African Union chairman. This is as the current chair, Musa Faki Mahamat, is set to leave office in March next year. Odinga, who is credited for his dedication to African progress, has emphasized the urgent need for effective leadership to address the continent's pressing challenges and unlock its potential.
Where there are no much antagonism against such country, then when you look at those who have held that position before, I believe strictly it should be the turn of East Africa. Not too long ago, we had Southern Africa. The one now whose time will be ending is Central Africa. Before that, as I said, we had Conare from West Africa. Position and the presentation of our leaders in the East African sub-region, and then if the region puts a candidate forward, I believe the rest of the continent will go along with that.
In his address, Odinga underscored his extensive consultations with close associates, including former President Obasanjo, highlighting his readiness to serve Africa amidst its current struggles to realize its full capabilities. Drawing from his previous experience as the African Union's Infrastructure High Representative, Odinga emphasized his first-hand insights into the operational dynamics of African nations, affirming his preparedness to navigate the complexities of the continent's diverse lands. Obasanjo has lauded Odinga as a trusted friend and a highly qualified candidate for the AU chairmanship, emphasizing the significance of having an East African representative in such a pivotal role, and stressed the imperative need for visionary leadership to address Africa's multifaceted challenges. Obasanjo pledged his full support, citing Odinga's proven track record and leadership attributes for tackling Africa's most pressing issues.
That consultation means now the people that I, from my own understanding of the situation and what I know of Africa, haven't been involved with Africa for more than 5 decades. What sort of people? Some time ago, I was one of those who midwifed, because we believe that people who have held the position of head of government, either at the prime minister level or at the presidential level, will be able to knock at the door of incumbent prime ministers and presidents without much ado.
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, my name is Kate and Diego.
Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Musalia Mudavadi, says East Africa is ripe for the chairmanship of the African Union next year. This was a key agenda of the 44th Ordinary Session of the AU's Executive Council of Foreign Affairs Ministers meeting in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. In a wide-ranging interview, Dr. Mudavadi said election rules under the AU reforms provide for a more equitable and inclusive rotation of the chair and commissioners. He pointed out that East and North Africa have not had a chance at the Commission's top seat since 2022. He also outlined the benefits of the AU participation in the Group of 20 G20 and the need to deepen implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. These issues will be part of the agenda of the 37th AU Heads of State and Government Summit this weekend.
This is the 44th session of the Council of the AU, and this is the one that brings together all the foreign affairs ministers. Now, the agenda has been very long. We have almost 20 plus agenda items, which we have talked about. So we have had a report of the performance of and activities of the AU for the last 1 year or the last 2 years. Then there are various committees that were submitting reports. And one of the critical reports is the reform of the AU. And key there is the modalities that will be put in place and have been put in place to facilitate a more equitable election of the commissioners and the chair of the African Union. So clearly, the principles of rotation so that the whole of Africa can be seen to participate is important. In this particular case, for instance, we are trying to deal with a situation where basically Eastern Africa and Northern Africa have never had an opportunity to lead the chair of the Commission for over 23 years, since 2002, 2003. The Southern region has had a chance, the Central has had twice, the West has also had an opportunity. So one of the key elements was that alphabetically, if you go in terms of regions, this provides a good opportunity for the East African region to provide leadership for the African Union Commission, for the African Commission. So broadly these are it, and then we still have to discuss issues that relate to the conflicts, the peace and security issues in Africa. As you know, there are very many hotspots in Africa. The theme this year is about preparing the African through education for the 21st century. And we are debating this particular theme when millions of children have been displaced from schools, when learning facilities have been demolished because of conflict in various parts of the region. So we see this as a very important occasion for Africans to address, for Africa to address their own issues through the Africa Union. There are issues of agriculture, there are issues of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. So a lot of issues are on the agenda. If we go by the rules that were approved, it's an opportunity for East Africa to provide leadership. And also we need equity and inclusion. That is the whole essence of the African Union. It would not be right if only certain regions continue to produce the leadership. It's also a chance for other regions to participate in this.
And President William Ruto has made a strong plea to members of parliament to pass the controversial affordable housing bill, emphasizing that it is crucial for the overall benefit of the country. The president, who is currently on a 3-day tour of the Mount Kenya region focusing on development initiatives, has reiterated his administration's commitment to the affordable housing program, highlighting its positive impact on job creation in Kenya. And as Grace Ahati reports, Ruto has remained steadfast in his push for the affordable housing bill, despite facing legal roadblocks and scrutiny from various stakeholders.
In a move aimed at providing affordable housing solutions and stimulating economic growth in Kenya, President William Ruto has now made a plea to members of parliament to pass the controversial Affordable Housing Bill. In his recent address during his development tour of Murang'a County, Ruto maintained that the affordable good of the country. Of high unemployment rates in Kenya, asserting that the implementation of the affordable housing program would play a pivotal role in tackling this challenge. Notably, he highlighted that the initiative has already generated employment opportunities for more than 300,000 Kenyan citizens. This comes even as last week Attorney General Justine Muturi returned the ball back to Parliament to make necessary amendments to the controversial housing bill to benefit common citizens.
Wabunge wako hapa leo, katika bunge iko sheria ya housing. Mimi nataka niombe wabunge wa Kenya waende wapitishe hiyo sheria ya housing ili tupange ajira ya hawa vijana waweze kuendelea na program ya housing, ndio Kenya iweze kusonga mbele, kwa sababu hiyo ndio mbinu nchi zingine zimetumia pale nyuma. Sisi tumechelewa kama Kenya, and we cannot continue to wait. This is a program that should have been there 30 years ago. We are 30 years behind time.
President Ruto at the same time reiterated his administration's commitment to ensuring access to quality health care for all Kenyan citizens. He noted that low-income earners would pay 300 shillings monthly under the new Social Health Insurance Fund, SHIF, down from 500 shillings. Additionally, those with no income will be catered for by the government.
Kuna wananchi wengine wako na mapato ya chini zaidi. Hata hiyo 300 kila mwezi hawawezi kulipa. Si ni kweli? Sasa tumeamua kama serikali ya Kenya ya kwamba wale wananchi ambao hawana uwezo kabisa, serikali ya Kenya tutawalipia hawa ambao hawawezi kulipa bima ya NHIF, so that kila Mkenya awe na bima ya afya, aende hospitali atibiwe.
The president further noted that the government will establish information, communication and technology hubs in every ward in the country to promote ICT literacy and innovation among young people in the country.
Kompyuta ikiwa pale, mtandao ikiwa tayari, tumekubaliana na kampuni nyingi duniani, Google, kampuni ya Intel, kampuni zile zingine nyingi za kuhakikisha kwamba wako na digital jobs. Nyinyi vijana, kazi yenu, kwa sababu ni lazima, we must be deliberate and intentional vile tunapanga ajira ya hawa vijana. So nyinyi vijana, kazi yenu, vijana 200-300 kila ward, tunataka vijana wa kwenda kufanya digital jobs.
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
Former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo has met with President William Ruto and his Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua in Murang'a County. The meeting comes moments after the press conference with the opposition leader Raila Odinga, where Obasanjo endorsed Raila for the African Union chairmanship position. On a few days after the court stopped the e-citizen school payment platform, the government, through spokesperson Isaac Mwaura, has said that they are not relenting on the project. Mwaura says the government intends to have all government institutions to be on the e-citizen platform in rendering their respective services to the public. Addressing the press, Mwaura said digitization is a sure way to curb corruption. And on the issue of delayed issuance of passports and IDs, the government has said that this was occasioned by a shortage in supply of the 34-page passport booklets. According to the government spokesperson, the shortage has been caused by slow delivery of the booklets by the supplier. Mwaura has advised those with urgent passport needs to go for the 50-page document, which he says is currently available in plenty.
Kenyans have complained of delayed issuance of passports, and I wish to confirm that the problem is being addressed. The problem has persisted because of delayed supply of 34-page passport booklets, which normally goes for 4,550 Kenya shillings. This shortage has been caused by slow delivery of the booklets by the supplier. The documents are usually printed outside the country for security reasons, leaving only applicants' biodata to be printed locally upon application. A consignment of the booklets is on the way, and will land in the country soon, and the problem will be a thing of the past. We believe so. In the meantime, as I had said earlier, those with urgent need for a passport are advised to apply for the 50-page passports, which this applies in plenty. And of course, remember, we said very clearly there are 70,000 uncollected passports last week. The government is also aware of the problem of acquiring identity cards by eligible youth, which has been caused by a court order suspending the production of the third-generation identity cards. An appeal has been made on the case. As we speak, 600,000 applicants for the cards are pending at the civil registration offices countrywide, even as another 684,000 IDs lie uncollected by the applicants across the country. So 600,000 new applicants, another 684,000 not yet collected. So you can see there is a balancing out, and please, people should collect this. As government spokesman, I affirm that once the appeal is granted, the government will embark on massive production of the vital identification documents with the aim of declaring the backlog within the shortest time possible. The government appeals to those yet to collect their documents to do so in order to avoid inconveniences in the official issuance of this very important document. And also, I think to clarify that this is a problem that is also government is not happy about, because like those students who are supposed to get HELB loans and they have not yet gotten their IDs, then it becomes a difficult issue. It is interfering with a lot of public service delivery efforts, and so therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we really would want this matter to be fully resolved, as quickly as possible. And these are some of the things that we are talking about in terms of the courts not being able to work out their things in good time.
Mandilo Court's magistrate has allowed the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, to detain a truck driver believed to have offloaded the gas in Embakasi gas filling station days before the station exploded, killing 6 people and maiming over 300 others. The truck driver, Abraham Mwangi Guyo, is said to have offloaded the gas from Tanzania. The prosecution informed the court that they are investigating the driver on cases of murder, contrary to Section 317 of the Penal Code, conspiracy to commit a felony, and negligent act causing harm. The driver was arrested yesterday for the suspicion of having committed the said offences on diverse dates between January 1st and February 2nd, 2024. The prosecution told the court that the driver went missing immediately after the gas explosion and resurfaced on the 13th of February seeking an anticipatory bail. The case will be mentioned on the 28th of February.
The suspect be held at Capitol Hill. Abraham Mwangi, umeelewa maombi ya kiongozi wa mashtaka na umeelewa majibu ya wakili na umeelewa uamuzi wa mahakama. Kwa wamesema wanataka siku 21 na mahakama imewapatia siku 14. Utarudi tarehe 28 mwezi wa pili. Kutoka hapo nitapeana mwelekeo zaidi, ama ile mahakama ambayo utapelekwa nitapewa mwelekeo zaidi. Unajua ni kwa nini wameomba muda wa kukuweka? Umeelewa nini? Wanamaliza uchunguzi wao. Thank you very much. Very cooperative client. Thank you.
Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has gazetted new administrative units in 31 counties as the government moves to improve coordination of services to members of the public. The units are run by national administration officers who include regional commissioner, county commissioners, sub-county commissioners, assistant county commissioners, chiefs and their assistants. The government had in June 2022 frozen the creation of new sub-locations, locations and divisions and sub-counties as units of service delivery and land adjudications along counties' boundaries in the regions until after the August general elections. This came after the then Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i expressed concern over what he termed as the politicization of boundary issues. Residents of Tigithi Ward in Laikipia County have been left in shock after a church elder was hacked to death by his neighbor. Witnesses say the area has been witnessing numerous cases of insecurity, with the latest one adding to their number. Residents have, however, decried reluctance by the local police to act swiftly when they presented the case to the police station. They are now appealing to the government to post more police officers to the area and say the ones currently available are overwhelmed by the increasing number of crimes being committed. Abigail Namude with more.
Mwenye kuwawa anakuwa akilisha ng'ombe yake hapa, na saa ile anakuwa akilisha ng'ombe yake hapa, kuna mwingine ambaye ameoa hapa tu kwa hii nyumba, alikuwa anataka kulima tu hapa, naye kwa mafikiria yetu tulikuwa tunafikiria ni kama huyu anataka huyu aondoke ndio apate kulima, vile hata alikuwa na jembe tu hapo akilima aking'oa hiyo majani ndio aweze kulima. Naye huyu mwingine akakuja kufuga ng'ombe yake mahali na huyu anatoa hiyo majani. Sasa tukafikiria hapo pengine ndio msozo ilitoka, na ikawa sasa hiyo kitendo ndio tulisikia huyu bibi mwingine anakuwa anakaa hapa kwa hii nyumba tu akipiga duru.
Watu wengi wameuliwa hapa. Kuna yule mama aliuliwa pale Mare 2 weeks ago, amesikwa. 2 days ago kuna kijana ameuawa hapa Tegethi, bado hajasikwa. Sasa leo huyu ni watatu. Tunasema hivi, tuangaliliwe security yetu sasa, sababu kama unakimbia pale kwa police post kwenye unaenda kutafuta usaidizi upati, saa hii ndio gari imefika kutoka saa 3:30. Imeendelea hivyo, watu wakikufa hapa wanachukuliwa hapa saa 9 sababu hakuna gari. Tunaomba serikali yetu waweze kutuletea gari hapa police post, sababu mtu hata akijeruhiwa na mwingine unaambiwa tafuta gari, weka gari mafuta. Sasa tunauliza serikali yetu, ni sisi tuliwachagua ama ni wao walituchagua tuwasaidie?
To some regional news now, the South African Defence Force has confirmed that 2 of its officers have been killed and 3 others injured in the Goma area in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo. The soldiers are part of the peacekeeping force of the Southern Africa Development Community, SADC. South Africa had earlier said this week that it would send 2,900 troops as part of its contribution to a force deployed by Southern Africa Regional Bloc SADC to help Congo address deteriorating security in its restive eastern region. The new effort comes after a separate regional military mission to combat the M23 by East African countries, which the DRC government perceived as a failure and which ended last year. Take a short break now. When we come back, we shall be looking at the day's business and sports news. Don't go too far.
Africa International University takes pride in being at the forefront of producing Christ-centered leaders, transforming Africa and the world. At AIU, we lead, we innovate, we inspire, and we are a family bound by a common goal of transforming the world. There is no better time to think about your career transformation in an international community. Our intakes are in January, May, and September and are currently ongoing. Embark today on an exciting and life-building academic journey by enrolling in our diverse certificates, diplomas, bachelor's, postgraduates, master's, or PhD programs. Africa International University, a university in the heart of Africa, with Africa on its heart.
Hello there, praise the name of the Lord. My name is Evelyn Wanjiro. To get Naiwe Maombi as your Skiza tune, SMS Skiza 8830022 to 811. Hope Skiza, spreading the hope.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Business Now, Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Musalia Mudavadi, has attended a high-level policy dialogue on ocean governance and the blue economy. The event explored how to strengthen Africa-Europe ocean partnership and exploit ocean resources to stimulate Africa's transformation. Hosted on the sidelines of the African Union Executive Council of Foreign Ministers in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, the forum was co-sponsored by Comoros, Seychelles, Portugal, Africa-Europe Foundation, the African Union Commission and the European Union. Mudavadi was accompanied by Kenya's ambassador in Addis, George Orina.
I've actually been trying to find a balance. It's been really tough and hectic, but everyone says once you get a hang of it, it becomes better, and I don't know, but I'm hoping to find a balance soon because it's really been hectic. But you've been in the job industry for a long time, so I think you would know better. Sindio?
Huh? What time is it? I need to catch up on Leadership Forum. Do they have a radio here? Never mind. I brought my own.
No way. You can't be serious. Wait, why do you have a radio and you can just catch up with the shows on Hope FM podcast?
Really? Even Meet of the One?
Yeah. I mean, you can find them on whatever platform, name it. AfriPods, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it.
But I'm not subscribed on any of them.
So no worries. You can just check out the latest episodes on hopemediakenya.org.
You can now listen to select Hope FM programs on your favorite podcast streaming platform or directly on our website www.hopemediakenya.org. Listen and live.
You, the listener, are the reason why we go on air. You, the friend of hope, are the reason why hope is alive. You have helped us take hope across the country and to the rest of the world. Through your giving, we have been on air for 18 years and witnessed many people coming to the Lord. Through your giving, we have expanded our reach to 3 new regions, namely Kisii, Nyeri, and Meru. Through your giving, we have expanded our reach to an international audience through DSTV and GoTV platforms. Thank you for your sacrifice and generosity toward this great initiative. As we continue spreading hope to the other unreached regions in Kenya, you are invited to be part of the Friends of Hope through a contribution of any amount via M-Pesa Paybill 933933, account name FOH. Friends of Hope, keeping hope alive. God bless you.
Hope TV is where you look and live with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Apologies for that technical hitch. I'll take that story again. Prime Cabinet Secretary and the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, has attended a high-level policy dialogue on ocean governance and blue economy. The event explored how to strengthen Africa-Europe ocean partnership and exploit ocean resources to stimulate Africa's transformation. Hosted on the sidelines of the African Union Executive Council of Foreign Ministers in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, the forum was co-sponsored by Comoros, Seychelles, Portugal, Africa-Europe Foundation, the African Union Commission, and the European Union. Mudavadi was accompanied by Kenya's ambassador in Addis Ababa, George Orina. And the Aga Khan University Hospital has launched its home care service as part of its strategy to increase access to quality care and to take its services closer to where people work and live. Among the services offered under the home care service include nursing care, physiotherapy, chemotherapy, doctor's visits, counseling, psychology, nutrition support, palliative care, collection of samples for laboratory testing, free delivery of medications and wound care, among other follow-up care services. The service is part of the hospital's decentralization of services from the main hospital to the neighborhoods and will augment the services offered by the wide outpatient network of 53 centers spread across Kenya and Uganda. The home care service is currently available in Nairobi and its environs, with plans to expand to other areas.
And we saw during COVID what happened in the first few months. People stopped coming to the hospitals, especially people with the chronic conditions. People with cancer, people with diabetes, people on dialysis, they stopped coming to the hospitals. And what happened then? If you are not treated, if you don't get the care when you need it, then the condition will deteriorate. And that's what we saw, that in the March of 2020, the hospital occupancy went down, the patients were not coming to the hospitals. And then when the COVID vaccines came, the occupancy was more than 100%. Because people were even more sicker when they came back to the hospital. And we want to avoid that, because not only it is the patient who suffered, the family who suffered, but also the cost of treatment when you are seriously ill went up. You would not land in ICU if you are treated when it is needed. So that's what we saw during COVID. And I think that was the motivation for us to start the home health program. So if the patient is admitted in our hospital for whatever reason, the data is electronically available. And when the care provider, when they go home, that same data is available. So you're not missing out on anything, and you don't have to carry huge paper charts to the home as well.
As we talk about universal health coverage, coverage is about how you can cover as many people as possible, preferably 100%, not with everything, but at least with certain basic services that improves their health. Every human being wants to live long, okay? And the longer you live, more complications come. Now, if you look at, say, 100 years ago and life expectancy today, we probably, in some societies, have doubled life expectancy. The way medical care is moving now and research in medicine, probably even by 2050, the average life expectancy will be over 100. Now, living longer with a chronic disease, you can imagine the burden it will have on the community itself and healthcare services. That burden will be colossal. And so therefore, I'm glad that this innovation has come, which is reach out to people at home so that then healthcare costs can come down. I'm happy that AKUH has understood the new customer value proposition.
To some sports now, the athletics fraternity is in mourning once more, with legendary marathoner Henry Rono passing away today, aged 72. Making the announcement, Athletics Kenya AK said the former world 5,000 meters and 3,000 meters steeplechase record holder died at a Nairobi hospital after a short illness. Rono had been hospitalized at the Nairobi South Hospital for the last 10 days. AK has celebrated Rono for setting the world record for the 5,000-meter races twice in 1978 and 1981. And that has been the Thursday edition of Newswatch. Thank you for your company throughout this newscast. I have been your anchor, Melissa Oduor. Boniface Muredi has been on the sign language tonight. I will leave you with a repeat of the Park University leadership conversation steered by our senior editor, Faith Kaulu, to continue that conversation. Have a good night.